think I found my new favorite exercise. Today's session, I only had about 5 hours of sleep, so obviously my performance wasn't the best. But I decided to try and implement this new exercise. I think it's called the shoulder supported Maltese raises. Now you'll see it later on in this video, but it's a very strange feeling. It's a strange exercise, and I like how it feels. The reason why I say it's strange is because you're keeping your shoulders in a static position. You're not moving them at all, and yet you are forcing shoulder flexion via raising your own body up and down. So keeping your shoulders stationary while performing some form of shoulder flexion in a dynamic way is very intriguing to me. It feels very good. I think I've been neglecting this exercise for quite some time, simply because I've tried this way before. I think like a year ago, and I think I was just half-assing or something, but it just didn't feel all that good at the time. But in this session, I could hardly do the tuck raises, the tuck variation. I was seeing other people that could do like a straddle planche, and they could do this variation, full planche version. So they were doing full shoulder supported Maltese raises, and that's something that I found very interesting. So there must be some, whether it be a neurological or a deficit in strength, but there must be a deficit in my strength overall, right? So I'm not too sure if this is more of a skill-based decrease in understanding of the exercise, mainly because I don't have much experience with it, or I'm generally lacking in overall shoulder flexion strength. Is it that my straight arm strength is not all that good, or is it that I'm just not very used to this form of leaning and just this unique exercise in general and this movement? Another point I wanted to mention was I tried out the mechanical planche push-ups. So you go from a tuck variation, and then you go down to a bent arm planche, and you go back. In this case, I used a half lay bent arm planche variation because I wasn't too strong with this exercise. But this was another point that I want to raise, because it seems like I've been neglecting this exercise as well. I feel like I have a tendency to dismiss exercises if I'm already accustomed to my program. I feel good, though sometimes I feel like I do need to add a bit more variation. But when I'm experiencing something, I think it may be some form of a Dunning-Kruger effect where I feel like I know more, but I tend to not look at stuff based on its anecdotal experience. I look at it in more of an objective view and seemingly see that mechanical push-up was more so something that worked more on bent arm and lacked the specificity to the planche. And that was completely wrong though. I tried them out as suggested by Pedro in the comment section, and they felt amazing. They felt great. And it seems like slowly adding these new variations to my training is doing a lot of justice. This new stimulus is unusual. It feels very, very different, and I'm excited to see what this shows in the future. Now, while I am being a bit inconsistent with my planche training and training overall, it seems like while having a bit more rest between sessions, the amount of exercises I do per day ramps up, and this balance is working out fairly well. Normally, I do train 3 times per week, but lately I've only been doing once to twice per week, while maintaining strength and even seeing some improvement with my half leg getting a lot strong beforehand, also my last session. But it's very interesting to see that perhaps doing less is more for me, because I was so accustomed to supposedly overtraining and just doing a lot of work and a lot less time span. So another thing I need to be working on is recovery. Recovery seems to be an essential part of, or like an integral part of training, which makes sense because that's the only part of your training and time where you're recovering. You are gaining strength through, regenerating your body, building muscle fibers, and just like, again, recovering the muscle fibers that you broke down in your training session. That is something that I tend to neglect, mainly because I feel as though I'm not working hard enough. I think I'm not sure if it's like a lack of experience or something. I'm very stubborn in terms of my mentality, but I tend not to realize how much I overtrain or find that balance to what my body wants to like best. Again, this may be more of a something of my lack of understanding of what my body wants, and this kind of ties into this form of auto regulation that I still like to play around with. So that's basically it, and I'll finish off here.